Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I just thought I'd pop on real quick and do my review of House of David, episode 2. I think I'm going to try out a little different format for my reviews. I don't want to spoil anything if anybody hasn't watched it, so I'm going to kind of split the videos into two parts. Going forward, I think I'm going to try it out and do just my first initial thoughts on if I liked it, if I didn't, and then I'll let everybody know when I'm going into spoilers. So if you haven't watched it, you can hop off, and if you have watched it and you want to see the spoilers, then you can stay on and watch the rest of the video. So episode 2, my first thoughts and initial reactions are not, I didn't like it as good as episode 1. There's a lot of exposition in this episode. There's a few flashbacks. They kind of set some things up, but nothing really happens. It's just kind of slow, kind of drawn out. Not like episode 1 was. I hope that's not going to be how the rest of the season is, that they're just going to drag things out. I hope it kind of picks up and gets better. There is one action sequence that picks up towards the end, but other than that, it was kind of slow and it kind of drug, and they just kind of explain things and set things up and do some flashbacks. So not as good as episode 1, but still a decent episode. I'm still curious to see how the rest of the season's going to unfold and go along. So that's just my initial thoughts. So now we'll get into spoilers. So if you haven't watched and you don't want to be spoiled, you can go ahead and hop off now. If you don't care, go ahead and stay. But we'll get into spoilers now. So there's a lot of flashbacks in this episode. We flash back to when David was little, and we see that how his mom was killed. She was killed by a lion, which is kind of symbolic because David just killed the lion in the first episode. We kind of see their relationship. We see David's relationship with his brothers. He wants to be a warrior. He wants to be a soldier, wants to be on the front lines, and they, all tell him no. And his brother takes him to the border village. It was just slaughtered by the giant. And there David sees the handprint and everything, and they're actually confronted by the Philistines there. And this is where the action scene takes place. And David's brother actually kills a lot of the Philistines, and the action's pretty decent. There were a few spots and pieces where it looked too choreographed, and it was kind of too slow moving with the sword movements and just kind of the stuff. So it wasn't a great action scene, but it was pretty decent. David really didn't do much. He threw one rock from his sling. We continue to see that Saul is continuing to lose it. Jonathan is very much questioning his father. Two things that really stuck out to me in this episode was David's offered a knife, and it's an Amalekite knife. And there might be some noise discrepancy. There's a truck going by. He's offered a knife, and he throws it in the fire when they tell him it's an Amalekite knife. And he says we're not supposed to keep those things. And Jonathan kind of does the same thing too in this episode. And you can see that things are really wearing on Jonathan. And if you know the stories from the Bible, you know that Jonathan's going to be David's right hand. And I'm anxious to see those two meet and their relationship to form. Because in the future, when Saul hunts David, Jonathan, protects David and is part of his 300 warriors. So I'm anxious to see how that all is going to play out. We see that David's a little sweet on one of Saul's daughters when they come to visit. So I think there's going to be something develop with that. But other than that, just not really a lot happened. It was just kind of slow and drawn out. Hopefully the next episodes pick up. I did see that I don't think David fights Goliath till episode 8 because it's called David and Goliath Part 2. I think that might be a mistake. If they were going to draw this whole season out before he fights Goliath, I think it would have been better as a movie or maybe a short mini-series depicting his life and not just drawn out like they have. But we'll see. Maybe it'll pick up and it'll get better. Maybe they'll add things or throw some stuff in. But I think looks like the next episode we might see kind of David and Samuel's relationship form and start to grow. So looks like things might be picking up. But that's what I thought. Didn't like it as good as episode 1. We'll see what episode 3 has. I'll probably watch that sometime this weekend. I still have a DC update kind of rant, just overall what I think the DCU I'd like to do this weekend. And I might do just kind of an about me video and explain, you know, what my plans are for the channel, why I started the channel, what I kind of want to do with the channel, and just kind of goals, and just so you kind of, everybody knows what the channel is about and what it's for. So be looking out for all that. If you haven't yet, go ahead and like, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. You don't want to miss out on anything. And I'll put my links to my Facebook and Instagram too. My Facebook, I have more videos about my life and me and my wife and the kids. We've got some funny videos on there you can check out. And then my Instagram, I'm not on Instagram too much. It's more just for kind of cosplay stuff and that kind of thing, and collecting. But if you're into that, you can check that out too. So links will be in the description, so go check them out. All right, we'll see you on the next video, guys. Have a great weekend.